Hello YouTube and welcome to the channel. Now today's video is going to be rectifying one of the issues I had whilst reviewing this little bad boy, the Wltoys A959-A. And one of the gripes I had with it was that the suspension is really bad. There's no dampening there whatsoever. The suspension is really bouncy. And when you get it on bumpy ground, it literally just does what it wants. Now then, I've heard a little rumour that these shock absorbers that come with the buggy will hold oil. So that's what we're going to find out today, whether or not we can put oil in these and give it some damping. Now it just so happens that I've got plenty of the 1000 weight fork oil left over from rebuilding the 14401 shocks a couple of videos ago, so we'll be putting that in. Now to get these shocks off, I think they just pop off the little ball joints that they sit on. So with a bit of luck they should just pop off. I think you can get a special tool for this. Obviously I haven't got one, I've just got a little flat bladed screwdriver. So literally it's just a matter of just popping them off those ball joints. So we'll have a quick look, see if these will indeed accept some oil. So, well, oh, we've actually got a little diaphragm in the top, so that's always a good sign. And there's a screw there, so I'm wondering if there is a little bit of oil in them, but not much at all. Well, actually, I think we just try and fill this up. We're not going to strip it. We're just going to try and fill it up. So, put a bit of the oil in. We'll get the air out if we can. Well, it doesn't appear to be leaking anything so far. Right, we'll try putting the diaphragm back on. Screw the lid back on. Nice and tight. Put the little spring collar back on. And okay, right, okay. What I'll do is repeat the process with all four and be back in 5. Right, I've just filled up the front two, and to give you an idea of the difference it makes, the back two are still empty, and as you can see they bounce several times. The front, plenty of damping. So I'll repeat the process on the rear, and then when it stops raining here in the UK, we'll take it outside and see what a difference it actually makes when you're running it. So now there's some oil in the shocks, we're going to try it on some similar ground as we did before, see if there's any difference in performance. Right, back indoors now. What effect, if any, did putting some oil in the shocks have on the handling of the buggy? Because it's quite difficult actually to quantify by watching the video, but I'll try and describe to you the effect I think it had. Now the ground second time round was a lot firmer, so the running would be a little bit bumpier than it was first time. But the car did seem to cope with a series of bumps better than it did beforehand with no oil. So I'd say this, from the main difference is stability over bumps, but I think, to be honest, that's a fairly obvious thing. The second thing I noticed was the car actually didn't roll over half as often as it did the first time around. So again, this is going to come down to stability. The car is just that much more planted, and the effect, if anything, I think is increased when I was running it on tarmac. Although I didn't really get any shots of it second time round on tarmac, I did notice that when cornering on tarmac beforehand, it did have a tendency to sort of flip if it hit a bump, but the second time around that was pretty much eradicated. So it really does have a marked difference on the running of the car. Would I recommend that anyone perform this mod? Absolutely yes. It's dead easy and pretty cheap. I mean, I had this bottle of shock oil lying around from the 14401. The shocks are rebuilt on that, so I utilised what I got, stuck some of that in. I didn't really have any issues, any problems doing it. It's very straightforward on this car. The only little issue I have noticed is that one of the rear shocks is, you probably can't see it on the camera, is weeping a little bit. But it would probably mean that you had to top up that shock absorber every now and again. The others, surprisingly enough, are still oil tight. They haven't really leaked anything out. I was quite surprised really, because I thought it's only a cheap little buggy. I pretty much thought that they would all leak out, but no, only one, like I say, on the back is showing any signs of leaking. As ever, if you've enjoyed the video and you found it of some use, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're feeling that way inclined, hit that subscribe button at the bottom. It makes a massive difference to making content for you guys. Thanks for watching.